Hey, so recently I wrote a post about how we teach souls, and what I mean is that we teach beings that have 5 parts to them. Okay, you've got the will, the heart, the executive center of the creature. You've got the head, aka the intellect, the mind. You've got emotion. You've got the social aspect of the student, and that's like the degree to which their relationships are a part of them. Then you've got the physical, the body. Yes, the physical and the body. So this 5-part model is really helpful for me because we're always being told as teachers all these things that we should be doing for students, and the social, emotional, and all this stuff, and the whole child. And I'm not saying those things are bad. I'm just saying that we want to think really clearly about them because we can't be good at everything. We can't achieve every objective that we have. If you have a million priorities, how many do you have? Not a million. You don't have any. So I argue that we should be focusing in schools on our unique spot because tons of people are building into the lives of our young people, our students. Tons of people are trying to, okay? They're trying to develop the students socially or emotionally or physically or what have you. But who is going to teach them history? Who's going to teach them biology? Who's going to teach them what you're going to teach them in physical education or in 3rd grade reading? I don't think anybody else is. That's like your unique slot in the student's life, your unique role in the relay race of promoting their long-term flourishing. Does that make sense? So in other words, I say we should be experts at the head. We should be focusing at the development of the mind of our students. And then I argue that the best path into that, the best entry point into that is through their will, through their heart, okay? And let's put that over here. We can discuss that in a future video. Hey, by the way, make sure you subscribe and like this video if you want more things like this because, you can use these in team meetings. You can watch them when you're doing the dishes, listen to them on your drive home, all types of things you can do with these. So subscribe, like, I appreciate it. Okay, but here's the question that I get. What about our students who don't have a lot of people building into them socially and emotionally at home? What about students from super difficult circumstances who they arrive to us and they've got backpacks full of ACEs or huge histories with trauma? How do we best serve them? I have a couple of answers to that I want to look at in this video. So first, we serve them by being a loving adult in their life. One of the best things that you can do for someone who's experienced trauma, especially a child, is to be a loving, consistent adult in their life. And you can be a loving, consistent adult who also is trying to help them to grow as much as possible academically. You can do both at the same time. So that's what I recommend. Like, be a mirror version of Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers taught about feelings, relationships. He was a social and emotional learning guy before social and emotional learning was a term. But along the way, he would also teach about the world. He developed the student's mind because he would teach them about fish and animals and take them to zoos and bowling alleys and art studios. Like, we just want to flip that. We want to be awesome at teaching about the world, teaching about our particular discipline, our slot in the child's academic development. But then along the way, we also can build in a little mention or a lesson or a teachable moment about what to do with feelings and how to build better relationships because that's just what you're going to do as a loving adult. Mirror version of Mr. Rogers. I like that. Okay, and second recommendation, pretty simple. Everyone who's not in charge of a classroom, get your heads together and think, what would it take for us to build a library for our community about social and emotional questions? How do I handle conflict? How do I deal with anger? What do I do when I can't forgive somebody? What do I do when I can't get along with somebody? What do I do when I'm feeling sad? Where can I go for help if I don't feel safe? All these little things can be turned into YouTube videos like this, or they could be turned into a newsletter, or you can make a little website. I mean, it's super easy today to disseminate information. But what can your team produce? What would be fun for you guys to make that you could build over time? And then you want to drip that out to your community. You don't make the website and then send a link to people. That's way too much work. You want to every Monday release your social tip Monday or whatever, and it goes out to your whole community, and it's just focused on that. You want people to know when it's Monday in my inbox, there's going to be this, and I know that this always helps me with child rearing or whatever your topic is. And so I'm going to open that thing up. You want to build a habit in people, and over time, you're going to build capacity in your community. And that's just like in addition to the responsive, reactive services that you have in the building. Like if a child is in crisis, you bring them into your office or whatever. I'm saying don't get rid of that, but go on the offensive too. But think nowadays in terms of your strategy. But what do you think? Okay, because I'm just a guy in a classroom What do I know? Tell me in the comments, what do you think? What can schools do to support students socially and emotionally without sacrificing a really intense focus on the development of student minds? And by the way, if you like stuff like this, maybe check out my newsletter. Link below. I write it every single week. Would love to have you as a reader. You can subscribe by clicking the link below.